Welcome back to Wild Story of a Rookie Hunter Songwoo, who thinks of himself as Terminator of this messed up world. Shin Hyeseong, the head of the Hyeseong Guild, stands surprised to see Junmo there. Suddenly, Hyeseong jumps down noisily from several floors high, landing on the first floor. Sangwoo quickly recognizes him as the Hyeseong Guild's leader and watches him carefully. Hyeseong realizes he hasn't seen Junmo in a long time and is unaware Junmo is still involved with hunters. Sangwoo, looking upward, is amazed at Hyeseong's impressive strength, as jumping from such heights seems normal to him. Junmo, however, clearly isn't happy to see Hyeseong and greets him coldly through clenched teeth, using a formal sir, which only makes Hyeseong laugh. Once finished laughing, Hyeseong looks at Sangwoo and asks Junmo who he is. Junmo explains Sangwoo is someone who works with his company. Hyeseong casts a glance at the young man, quickly assuming he must be a low-ranked F-level hunter. He laughs again, mocking Junmo for falling from supervising B-level hunters down to F-level and ridiculing Sangwoo's clothes. Junmo, offended, grits his teeth and prepares for conflict, but Sangwoo stops him gently by placing a hand on his shoulder. Hyeseong sees Sangwoo step forward, guessing he has something to say. Sangwoo smiles politely and says he feels honored to meet and talk with the famous head of the Hunters Association. Hyeseong immediately realizes Sangwoo is clever. Sangwoo continues smiling as he openly says the Hyeseong Guild is known for monopolizing hunting areas, banning hunts, and stealing hunters' hard-earned money. Hyeseong never expected such blunt honesty, even though it's true. Sangwoo keeps smiling, remarking that now he doesn't know how to handle this meeting. Hyeseong stretches his neck, noting Sangwoo's bravery, and instantly appears behind him, saying such boldness should come with strong skills. Before they can continue, Hyeseong's assistant interrupts. While approaching the assistant, Hyeseong mutters that someone has ruined his fun. He tells Sangwoo they are done for today and starts leaving. Suddenly Hyeseong turns back and asks Sangwoo what his name is. Sangwoo responds that someone like Hyeseong could easily discover it himself. Turning again, Hyeseong smiles, amused by Sangwoo, and says goodbye to Junmo until next time. Hyeseong's assistant immediately lectures him on inappropriate behavior within the guild's building. Soon after, Sangwoo, his clone, and Junmo sit quietly in Junmo's car. Junmo is the first to break the silence in the car, thanking Sangwoo for stepping in earlier, and Sangwoo replies that he couldn't just stand by and watch. Junmo then asks if Sangwoo knows about his past with the Hyeseong Guild. Sangwoo explains that he learned about it while researching the JM agency and found rumors that Junmo had been expelled from the Hyeseong Guild. Junmo now understands why no one has worked with him for so long. Curious, he asks why Sangwoo would still choose to work with him, and Sangwoo says the main reason was the payment ratio the agency offered. But after a few seconds, he adds that he also feels he can trust Junmo, which surprises the man. Meanwhile, in the gym, Sangwoo's clone is lifting a heavy barbell, and people are amazed he can endure such training. A trainer sees the clone and tells her colleague that the workout is dangerous. Her colleague replies that he tried talking to the client, but he never responds. Just then, the clone gets a message from Sangwoo telling him to stop training, take a shower, and wait at the gym's entrance. The clone quickly drinks his entire container, heads to the shower, and the trainers feel relieved. The risk to his health is over. Elsewhere, a tunnel full of slugs is the hunting ground, where Sangwoo destroys one slug with a simple tool and collects the remaining substance in a container on his back. Deciding that's enough for now, he returns to his world through a portal. After removing his gas mask and breathing in clean air, Sangwoo shares his thoughts about his first hunt with Junmo. Junmo mentions that very few go to that tunnel, even though it's safe, and Sangwoo understands why, realizing it's hard to last long there. He notices his container is only half full, and says it's impossible to stay long enough to fill it. Junmo says good uniforms help, but Sangwoo insists that even with them, he couldn't last more than 2 hours, though his clone could. Now the clone is getting dressed for the hunt, and Sang-woo sends him off to earn money. But as Sang-woo turns to call the first clone, he realizes he forgot to pick him up from the gym. Number 1 stands at the entrance of the gym, waiting as instructed, until he finally hears Sang-woo's voice telling him to get in the car quickly. While Junmo drives Sang-woo to the next hunting area, he asks why Sang-woo calls the clones by numbers. Sang-woo explains that giving them names would confuse him, and Junmo agrees that numbering them makes sense. Then Sang-woo begins asking about hunting horned rabbits, and learns that firearms are required. When Junmo confirms this, Sang-woo says they'll need to buy a couple of guns. Junmo replies that weapons can also be rented on site, but he recommends buying a personal uniform eventually, since rented weapons can only be used on hunting grounds. Sang-woo, now deep in thought about how much the gear might cost, hears loud noises and asks what the sound is. Junmo says they've arrived. It's a secured area for horned rabbit hunting, buzzing with activity from both hunters and military personnel. Once out of the car, Sang-woo immediately notices how different this area is from the slug territory. Junmo recalls that a monster breakthrough once happened here. Sang-woo remembers hearing or reading about such events, where monsters manage to cross through the portal, something normally impossible. These events are called breakthroughs. As Sang-woo walks toward the entrance, Junmo continues explaining that high-rank monsters are usually killed, and E and F level monsters that remain become valuable targets for hunters. Sang-woo is more surprised that no one seems to mind the deafening noise all around. Soon, he and Junmo are inside, and it's just as busy as outside. Junmo points to the weapons section, saying Sang-woo can rent everything there. After choosing the guns, ammunition, and renting the hunting spot, the total cost comes to 70,000. Sang-woo takes out his bank card and realizes even renting is quite expensive. Junmo explains that the cartridges cost the most, but assures him that a good hunt will make up for the expense. Looking at their ticket, Junmo says their hunting spot is on the 3rd floor in the F-level zone. When the right door opens, Junmo quickly covers his ears just in time, because in this hunting area, the constant gunfire is so loud that it can instantly damage hearing. The hunt is busy, with some people upset over mistakes and others happy with their new catches. Junmo points to an empty seat and tells Sang-woo it's the one from their ticket. As he puts down a box of bullets, Junmo asks if Sang-woo is confident in his shooting. Sang-woo says he is, but Junmo isn't so sure since Sang-woo missed 3 close-range shots in the exam. Sang-woo loads his gun and proudly says he feels sorry for all the horned rabbits he will shoot today. Confident, he says no target can escape his sharp eyes and gets ready to hunt. Soon, he spots a horned rabbit calmly sitting in the grass through his scope. Junmo is surprised Sang-woo finds a target so fast. Sang-woo carefully aims at the head, tightens his finger on the trigger, and says, "The real hunt begins." But later, he's holding his head in frustration, realizing he hasn't hit anything. Clone number 1 sits nearby, bored, while Sang-woo remembers how the target moved away just as he shot. Junmo, watching the failed hunt, says it's too late now. Leaving the hunting area, Sang-woo looks into the dark forest and realizes he won't even make enough to cover his rental costs. Tired, he tells his clone to stay and shoot at the horned rabbits, and if he hits one, to take the body out with a harpoon. The clone should send a +1 message for each hit and call if the bullets run out. Sang-woo heads home, lies down, and sees messages showing clone number 2 is hitting targets. He opens his stats window and sees that his abilities are slowly improving. But then he remembers the powerful leader of the Haishong Guild he met earlier. Sighing, Sang-woo realizes he still has a long way to go to reach that level. He never thought hunting horned rabbits would be so hard and such a failure. As he falls asleep, he dreams that clone number 1 can at least shoot something. Sang-woo is already in a deep sleep when his phone screen suddenly lights up with a new message. The next morning, Junmo is in his office, looking mysteriously toward the rising sun. A phone call interrupts his peaceful moment, and when Junmo confirms that Hunter Sang-woo is part of his agency, He is urgently asked to go to the slug hunting site. When he asks why, they explain that the hunter has not stopped working for over a day. Surprised by this, Junmo promises to arrive as quickly as possible. At the same time, Sang-woo wakes up at home, feeling well rested. Checking his phone, he sees a message from number one and assumes the hunt has ended. But when he unlocks the screen, he finds many messages from the clone. When Junmo arrives at the slug hunting site, he is shocked to see the area filled with massive containers full of the valuable slug substance. Meanwhile, soldiers are trying to stop the persistent clone who refuses to stop hunting. Realizing he must act, Junmo quickly calls Sang-woo. Sang-woo answers right away and hears the good news that his clone has filled all the storage units at the slime ground. Junmo also asks him to order the clone to stop. Sang-woo, happy with the news, then asks Junmo to send a cleanup team to the Ujangsun, since judging by the messages he received, the place is likely filled with corpses. Indeed, at the horned rabbit site, a huge pile of monster corpses has gathered and is now surrounded by a crowd of spectators filming the scene. People are amazed that one young man has caught so many monsters on his own. Hunters and agency representatives are also present, and several well-dressed men are trying to hand their business cards to Sang-woo's clone. However, number one ignores them all, since he was never ordered to accept cards. One representative believes the hunter is testing his patience and stands still, hoping for a reaction. But another tells him it's pointless, saying others have already tried different ways to talk to him without success. The last person to try handing over a card is surprised when told by members of top agencies that nothing will work. While he continues asking questions, Sang-woo suddenly appears beside his clone, pulling up his hood to avoid drawing too much attention from the crowd gathering around his impressive results. Sang-woo places a small box next to his clone, telling him to continue hunting horned rabbits, as the box contains the ammunition number one had run out of. Stepping back, Sang-woo thanks the clone for doing such a great job. Number one quickly reloads and prepares to resume hunting, surprising the crowd, who can't believe the hunter is continuing after such a long and hard night. People call for silence and take out their phones to record this never-before-seen hunt. Sang-woo thinks deeply about how he may have underestimated his clones, who each have 50% of his abilities. If they are half as strong as him, they shouldn't be this capable, which leaves him thinking. Suddenly, a woman's voice calling him Mr. Jong makes Sang-woo jump. It's Haeon, who asks what he was thinking about so seriously. Sang-woo avoids the question and apologizes for being late, then hands her a notebook, complimenting her improved skills. He finally says that he was just at a hunting zone and that things went much better than expected. Haeon is shocked to learn her teacher is also a hunter and scolds him for not saying so earlier. Taking out her phone, she asks if he knows the new internet star called Eagle Eye. Sang-woo pretends to be surprised as she shows him a video of number one standing on a mountain of corpses. She explains that this new hunter has killed over 200 horned rabbits and never talks, ignoring all questions and offers from agencies. But when asked his name, he simply says he is Eagle Eye. Sang-woo is stunned while watching the video and listening to Haeon. Without looking up, she suddenly says she wants to become a hunter too. Sang-woo, wanting to change the topic, asks if she has awakened and received her license. She says yes, but is scared to go hunting alone. She then asks Sang-woo if he would take her hunting if she passes the exam. Caught off guard, he says that with excellent grades he could take her. This answer makes her very happy, and Sang-woo adds that he knows safe places for hunting. Haeon, smiling brightly, holds out her pinky for a promise. Sang-woo links fingers with her, and she reminds him that once he makes a promise, he can't back out or lie. After finishing his lesson, Sang-woo leaves the room and meets Haeon's mother in the kitchen. Haeon listens nearby as her mother asks about her progress, and Sang-woo praises how hard she's working. Her mom invites him to stay for dinner, but he politely declines, saying he's busy. Feeling happy from how her tutor spoke about her, Haeon hugs her big teddy bear on the bed. She creates an energy ball and stares into it, excitedly imagining going hunting with Sang-woo. Thinking of his face, she remembers how she first opposed her dad's idea of tutoring, but now finds Sang-woo kind, sweet, and clear in his explanations. She also finds him very handsome. Though it's getting late, she decides to study a bit more before sleeping. Meanwhile, Sang-woo arrives at the horned rabbit hunting area, wondering if the cleanup team has cleared all the monster corpses. Junmo is already there and happy to see Sang-woo. After walking up to him, Sang-woo greets Junmo, who stands beside number 1. Junmo says he came in person to oversee the process and that he had to call many cleanup teams, more than ever before, because there were over 300 horned rabbits killed. He also mentions that he already sent Sang-woo the income details. Sang-woo doesn't hear the alert since his phone is on silent, but when he checks it, he is shocked to see nearly 500,000 in his account. Curious, he asks Junmo why the amount is more than expected. Junmo says Sang-woo's true level is clearly higher than F, so he slightly adjusted his earnings. Sang-woo is grateful and thanks him for being so thoughtful. Suddenly, a loud and unfriendly voice interrupts them. A local hunter points at number 1 and asks Junmo if he is this guy's agent. Junmo senses trouble, but confirms it. The man claims Sang-woo's clone stole his loot, saying every target he tried to shoot was killed first by number 1, and now he demands compensation. Junmo quietly tells Sang-woo this place seems a bit rough, and Sang-woo is surprised there are such odd hunters around. Thinking for a moment, Sang-woo tells Junmo he has an idea. But the rude man, thinking he has the upper hand, lowers his demand to 10% out of fairness. As he finishes speaking, Sang-woo suddenly bursts into loud laughter, which angers the man, who grits his teeth and says he doesn't see anything funny. Sang-woo puts his hand on his clone's shoulder and happily says that no one will see this guy around for a while, then invites Junmo to leave the hunting area. Junmo is confused and nervously looks back at the angry man they're leaving behind. The Racketeer, upset at being ignored, suddenly charges to attack, but just as he does, Sang-woo mentally orders number 1 to move. The clone steps into the path of the man's punch and gets hit hard, his face injured as he's thrown aside. The attacker is shocked by how powerful his own punch was. Sang-woo, recording the whole thing, shouts dramatically about the terrible violence on sacred hunting grounds. He loudly tells Junmo that this attack won't be ignored and mentions that fans of Eagle Eye won't like seeing their hero get hurt once the video is online. Sang-woo even shows the man the video on his phone, and the Racketeer, realizing the situation, has no choice but to give up. Sang-woo suggests forgetting everything and ending on good terms, while the man grits his teeth in frustration. Taking a sip of lemonade, Sang-woo suddenly asks Junmo about the Heseong Guild, and Junmo says he believes the attacker is one of them. Number 1 silently listens while quickly drinking his lemonade. Sang-woo asks how Junmo knows the attacker is from the Heseong Guild. Junmo explains that the hunter kept watching him from the moment he arrived. Sang-woo realizes the Heseong Guild might want revenge for what happened. Junmo admits that Sang-woo and his clone are being targeted because they're part of his agency, and others before them also left due to pressure from the Heseong Guild. He cannot promise full safety or that this won't happen again. Sang-woo, still cheerful, says he won't leave the agency and plans to become much stronger very soon to protect himself. For quite some time, he explains his full plan to Junmo. When Sang-woo finishes, he asks for Junmo's opinion. Junmo is surprised and says he never thought of such an idea before. Then he writes something in his notebook and tells Sang-woo to meet him tomorrow afternoon at the hunter's market. With the rise of hunters, trade in weapons, armor, and other items grows quickly. eventually turning into huge specialized supermarkets. In one of these, Sang-woo finishes putting on his combat gear. The seller tells him the armor provides protection against level E monsters, and Sang-woo notes it's light and comfortable. Taking out a knife, Sang-woo says that since he plans to learn firearms, a regular knife will be enough for now. After putting the knife away, he asks the seller to bring him 2 more sets of the same gear. Once the purchase is done, Sang-woo and Junmo continue walking through the large shopping center. Junmo asks if Sang-woo still wants a unifying skill, and Sang-woo says yes. They find a department selling skill balls and begin searching. Sang-woo excitedly finds the skill he wants, but when he sees the price, he grabs his head in shock. With no other choice, he asks Junmo for an advance payment. Junmo checks his account and agrees to lend him some money. This, along with Sang-woo's own earnings, is enough to buy the skill. Looking at the glowing ball, Sang-woo thinks that if his plan works, this investment will bring big rewards. Later, Sang-woo is back in his apartment reading the instructions for using the skill ball. There are 2 ways to activate it, by pouring mana into it or by touching it and pressing a button, which is for those who can't control mana yet. Since Sang-woo doesn't know how to use mana, he chooses the second method. He finds a small remote, touches the ball, and presses the button. A bright light fills the room, but it quickly fades. The ball disappears, and the system announces that the new familiar skill has been added. Sang-woo is surprised the ball vanished, but he gets up and calls his 2 clones. Numbers 1 and 2, now wearing new gear to tell them apart, quickly respond. Looking at them, Sang-woo happily says it's tea. I'm to begin. Later, while sitting in a cafe with Junmo, Sang-woo asks how he liked today's hunt. Junmo replies that he has never seen results like this before, and he's truly amazed by what Sang-woo has accomplished. Sang-woo realizes that even though his clones only have half of his real abilities, they can do things he can't, like shooting accurately. He remembers how he made the clone take a hit from the Racketeer and thinks that if he had ordered the clone to fight back, it could have easily taught the man a lesson. Junmo listens and agrees that even if clones are weaker in numbers, they seem to use their abilities better than Sang-woo himself. Sang-woo confirms this and decides to use that advantage by sending clones to train in hand-to-hand combat and shooting. Each clone goes to a different training ground, one for fighting and one for shooting. The instructors welcome them and are surprised when the clones ask to jump straight into practice. They ask again if they are sure, and both clones confidently say yes. Soon, the shooting instructor holds the control to launch targets, and the combat trainer gets ready for a spar. In seconds, a target flies into the air, and a sparring opponent attacks one of the clones. But both attempts fail. The flying target shatters from a perfect shot, and the attacking fighter is easily stopped. The instructors are shocked by the clone's skills. Sang-woo, meanwhile, tells Junmo that he now needs a unifying skill. Junmo is confused, thinking such a skill is meant for combining with pets. But Sang-woo explains that he wants to merge with his clones instead. This would allow him to feel everything the clones feel, including what they learn. He asks Junmo to imagine using that skill during training and being able to sense everything through the clones. Standing on the platform outside his house, Sang-woo concentrates and activates the new unifying skill. He suddenly feels energy flow through him and surround his body, connecting him to the clone that is sparring. Through this link, he can feel the enemy's distance, sense movement, feel how the gun fits in his hand, control breathing, sense the recoil from a shot, and see targets shatter in midair. Everything the clone experiences, Sang-woo experiences too. Thanks to this skill, Sang-woo realizes he can now gain the same training and fighting abilities as his clones, just by linking with them. After turning off the familiar skill, Sang-woo stands still and stares at his hand, which is holding only a pistol. He clearly remembers the feeling of wind on his face, when a stick flew over his head, and the strong push in his hand after the gunshot. Even though he didn't move himself, he feels tired because he shared all the sensations with his clone. Sang-woo strongly feels that he can now do everything his clones just did. As he tries to adjust to this new connection, the system announces that his stats have increased again. Happy with the improvement, he decides to keep going and prepares for another unification. Focusing his energy, he activates the skill again. This time, his clone is standing directly in front of the trainer in the training hall. Through the eyes of his clone, Sang-woo sees the coach and notices how impressive he looks. Everyone around is surprised that the trainer himself is going to spar with this newcomer. The fight begins with Sang-woo's clone attacking first, but the master blocks it easily. The trainer notices that the clone's attacks lack experience in proper movement techniques. However, the defense is on a completely different level, with the clone predicting and dodging every move with ease. The trainer's next attack is also unsuccessful, as the clone blocks it like all the others. When the clone moves to the side and attacks again, their weapons clash with a loud wooden sound. The trainer is shocked by the strength of the attack, realizing the clone is copying all of his previous moves. But being experienced, he refuses to give up. He throws the clone aside and tries to attack again, but the clone dodges calmly. One male student watching the battle is amazed that a newcomer can fight equally with their coach. Sang-woo's clone makes a powerful counterattack with his stick, and the coach struggles to block it, clearly not expecting such force. The trainer ends up pushed against the wall, and the clone gets ready to finish the fight. But experience plays a big role in combat. Using his tough situation to his advantage, the coach surprises both the clone and Sang-woo, who is watching everything through the connection. The trainer suddenly does a somersault and manages to strike the clone, disarming him. The spectators cheer, glad to see their experienced coach still capable of winning, even against someone so skilled. Meanwhile, Sang-woo screams in pain after feeling the wrist injury his clone received in the spar. The trainer facing him admits that his opponent is very good, and asks if he wants to try again in the next round. Sang-woo, now feeling a little better, checks in with his clone and asks if he's okay to continue. Without saying anything, number one suddenly jumps into the air, repeating the same move that had impressed the trainer earlier, surprising everyone in the training hall. Sang-woo is relieved and happy to see that his clone is fine and ready to keep fighting. The clone picks up his weapon, stands up straight, and tells the trainer he is ready for the next round. The trainer, liking the clone's energy and passion, agrees to continue. Sang-woo then leaves number one and connects with his second clone. As another clay target flies into the air, Sang-woo prepares to shoot. Just then, we are shown a depiction of a cocky guy asking his girlfriend if she saw his moves. Sang-woo wants to show off something like that, but he decides to focus on the next target. He closely observes his clone's body movements, watching how he adjusts his stance and follows the flying object with his gun. As the target reaches the perfect position, the clone pulls the trigger. Sang-woo watches the shattered pieces fall and tries to remember every small movement and detail. His goal is to learn everything his clones master and be just as capable. After finishing shooting practice, Sang-woo stops the energy flow and deactivates the familiar skill. Opening his eyes, he feels exhausted from switching between clones. Almost collapsing from fatigue, he realizes he needs rest and to recover his mana. Sitting on a bench, he reflects on how the clones fight without any fear and wonders if next time he should train alongside them and test his own skills. As he rests, Haeyeon walks by and notices her tutor. Sang-woo is surprised when she calls out to him. When he asks why she's out so late, she says she's been studying in the library. As they chat, a nearby group of men notices them. The biggest man in the group turns to another and asks if that's the same guy. Holding his phone to his ear, A man listens to an angry voice scolding him for letting Junmo go so easily. The man from the hunting ground tries to defend himself, saying the incident was caught on video, which changes everything. But the person on the phone tells him to stay out of it now and warns him not to mention the alliance of the Heeshang Guild. After the call ends, the man, filled with rage, throws his phone against a wall, then kicks it when it lands on the grass. His tantrum is interrupted by a familiar voice, Gunsok, a friend of this man. After hearing his story, Gunsok laughs at him for letting Junmo and his hunter leave, and mocks the angry man's idea of working with the most well-known hunter guild. He admits that the guild has now told him to stay away. Gunsok then hints that he might have some side work for his old friend again. The man is about to thank Gunsok when he suddenly spots some young people nearby, and loudly yells that one of them is the guy who recorded the video of him. Furious, he starts heading toward them, but Gunsok stops him and says he'll handle it. Meanwhile, Haiyan asks Sang-woo what he's doing there, and he replies that he came to do a little training. Suddenly, a loud voice grabs their attention as Gunseok approaches them accompanied by the angry man and Chang. Gunseok says he's heard about some kind of misunderstanding between Sang-woo and one of his people. Haiyan asks who these men are, and Sang-woo says he doesn't know, though he then spots the man behind Gunsok and realizes what's going on. Sang-woo quickly covers Haiyan with his back and calls for his clones while asking how he can help them. The man angrily yells that Sang-woo knows exactly why they're there, but Gunsok again stops him and asks Sang-woo if he really has a video of his brother's mistake. Without waiting for an answer, Gunsok says Sang-woo should delete the video, and then they can part ways peacefully. Sang-woo shows his phone and asks if things will really end calmly if he deletes the video. When Gunsok promises they will, Sang-woo asks what guarantees he has. Laughing, Gunsok says Sang-woo is clever but adds that there are no guarantees. In fact, he says Sang-woo won't leave without being beaten, so he'll think twice before filming such things again. While Gunsok is still talking, Sang-woo quietly tells Haiyan to run away when she gets the chance. Then facing the men, Sang-woo firmly says that no one can tell him what he should or shouldn't do. Taking a fighting stance, he boldly adds that it's not yet clear who will be the one getting beaten today. Gunsok, seeing this as overconfidence, tells his men to beat that attitude out of him. As the attackers move in, Sang-woo manages to dodge the first punch, but Chang hits him hard in the head. The man then takes advantage of Sang-woo's hesitation and kicks him, followed by another strong hit from Chang straight to Sang-woo's jaw. Haiyan screams as she sees her teacher fall to the ground. Sang-woo, while in pain, thinks that using his clone's skills didn't go very well this time. Still struggling to breathe from the hit to his stomach, Sang-woo sees Haiyan step forward to defend him. She's scared, shaking, but she forms a glowing energy ball, ready to fight. Sang-woo tries to stop her, but she stands her ground. The attackers hesitate, realizing she's awakened and has powers. But Gunsok slaps both of his men on the head, mocking them for being afraid of a schoolgirl. He then turns to Haiyan, taunting her and asking what she would do if they continued attacking. As Gunsok starts walking toward them, Haiyan yells at him to back off and throws the energy ball at him with all her strength. The glowing attack flies toward his stomach, and a loud explosion is heard when it hits. Chang and the man shield themselves from the shockwave. Through the smoke, Gunsok calmly says that there are as many awakened people now as dirt on the road, and most of them aren't impressive at all. He steps forward, revealing himself unharmed, and says he'll teach Haiyan a lesson. As he raises his arm to strike her, Sang-woo suddenly appears in front of her and blocks the blow with his own body. Looking straight at Gunsok, Sang-woo declares that he's just getting started. Then, using his energy, he throws a powerful punch at Gunsok. Meanwhile, Haiyan, now protected behind him, watches in amazement as the man who looked completely beaten just moments ago is now standing strong. That's all from today's recap of Sang-woo. Sacrificing himself for others, but how long will he be able to save Haiyan and others? We'll have to wait for next part of this story. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with this wild journey.